Okay, we're going to start today. We are working in Advanced 2. If you're Math 7, it's Advanced 2. If you're Math 8, it is Course 3. Advanced 2, Course 3, they are the same thing. We are still working in Lesson 1.1, Example 4, page 6. So we're going to take one-step equations and start applying them to real-life situations. Word problems. Everybody loves a good word problem. So lesson 1.1, example 4, page 6. The first one we're going to do is right here. The melting point of a solid is the temperature at which the solid becomes a liquid. The melting point of bromine is 1/30th of the melting point of nitrogen. Write and solve an equation to find the melting point of nitrogen. Okay, so we need to turn this word problem into a number problem. We need to turn these words into numbers, something we can work with. So the melting point of a solid is the temperature at which the solid becomes a liquid. The melting point of bromine is, okay, I see bromine, and is means equals. So the melting point of bromine equals 1/30th of the melting point of nitrogen. So 1/30th of nitrogen. So of typically means multiplication. So bromine, the melting point of bromine is 1/30th of nitrogen. So we've taken all of these words and we've simplified it. Okay. Now we need to turn these words into numbers. So we need to write and solve the equation to find the melting point of nitrogen. This is what we're looking for right here. The melting point of nitrogen. Okay, so over here to the right, it says the melting point of bromine is -7 degrees Celsius. They're telling us what bromine is. So bromine is -7 degrees Celsius. Everything else comes down, and I'm still looking for the melting point of nitrogen. So we've taken all these words, pulled out the information that we needed, and we took this word problem and turned it into a number problem. Now this should look like something you've done. We spent Tuesday and Wednesday working on problems like this. So I need to isolate N, isolate nitrogen. To do that, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. And what I do to one side, I must do to the other. Okay, my 30s cancel, my 1s cancel, and nitrogen is isolated. Yay, nitrogen is isolated. I have a positive and a negative, so my answer is going to be negative. 30 times 7 is 210. Now 1 times 1 is 1. I don't need to do that. So -210 degrees Celsius equals N. Well, since they gave us a word problem, we turned it to numbers, we solved it. We now need a word answer. Word problems dictate word answers. So -210 degrees Celsius is the melting point of nitrogen. So if you have a word problem, you need to have a word answer. We take the words and we turn them into numbers and we solve it. Then we take our answer and turn it back into words. Okay, that's not too bad. Figuring out what the word problem wants us to do is the hardest part. Okay, let's do another problem. Right here. See if I can, there we go. I may have to write above it. Let's try that. Here we go. Okay. The melting point of mercury is about 1/4 of the melting point of krypton. The melting point of mercury is -39 degrees Celsius. Write and solve an equation to find the melting point of krypton. Okay, so the melting point of mercury, we have mercury is an equal sign, about 1/4 of the melting point of krypton. And of means multiplication. So mercury is 1/4 of krypton. The melting point of mercury is 1/4 the melting point of krypton. And of means multiplication. So, okay. Now they're telling us the melting point of mercury is -39 degrees Celsius. So they're giving us that answer. -39 degrees Celsius equals 1/4 krypton. And they're asking us, what is the melting point of krypton? That's what we're looking for. That's the variable we're trying to isolate. Okay? This now looks like a problem you should already know how to do. What we need to isolate K, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So when I look at this, my 4's cancel, my 1's cancel, and krypton is now isolated. Yay! Okay, we have a positive and a negative, so our answer is going to be negative. 4 times -39. If you want to use a calculator, you may, or you can just use a piece of scratch paper. I am fond of scratch paper. -39 times 4. -156. Now 1 times 1. I can put this over a 1, but that's not typically how we write it. 156 over 1 is equal to -156. So we have -156 degrees Celsius is equal to krypton. We've isolated it. But if we have a word problem, we turn it to numbers to solve it. Here's my answer. I now need to take my number answer and turn it to words. If we have a word problem, we need a word answer. So -156 degrees Celsius is the melting point of krypton. A word problem dictates a word answer. Okay. Okay, we have 2 more problems. I'm not going to solve them for you. but I am going to help you set them up. So I'm now on page 9. I'm not going to solve these problems for you, but I am going to help you set them up. There we go. Okay, some ant species can carry 50 times their body weight. It takes 32 ants to carry the cherry. About how much does each ant weigh? Okay, so it takes 32 ants to carry a cherry. 32 ants to carry a cherry. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so I'm seeing 32 ants to carry a cherry is going to be equal, and the cherry is 4,800 milligrams. 32 ants to carry 4,800 milligrams. Okay, and now they're telling me an ant can carry 50 times his weight. So 32 single ants that can carry 50 times their weight can carry 4,800 milligrams. Okay, we are trying to figure out the weight of each ant. I am not going to solve this one for you. I just wanted to help you set it up. And remember, a word problem dictates a word answer. So think about that one. Okay, I'm going to help you set up the last one. And that would be this goofy looking guy. Okie doke. One-fourth of the girls and 1/8 of the boys in a class retake their school pictures. The photographer retakes pictures for 16 girls and 7 boys. How many students are in the class? So 1/4 of the total girls and 1/8 of the total boys. Remember, of means multiplication. So 1/4 of the girls, or 1/4 times the girls, and 1/8 of the boys, or 1/8 times the boys. Okay, so he retook 16 pictures for the girls. So 1/4 of the girls is equal to 16, and 1/8 of the boys is equal to 7. So we need the total number of girls and the total number of boys. Then girls plus boys equals total number of students. So this is kind of a 3-step problem. We need to figure out the total number of girls, figure out the total number of boys, then we need to add the total girls plus the total boys to get the total number of students. Okay, I am not going to solve this one for you. I just wanted to help you set it up.